Hello. Today's scripture is Matthew 6, verse 19. Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. Verse 20 goes on, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust destroys and where thieves do not break in and steal. Verse 21, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. When I was reading that today, the word that jumped out off the screen and into my eyes was the word treasures. And I got to thinking about what is it that we treasure today? I mean, obviously we treasure money. That's important. You need it to live. We may treasure the people in our lives. We may treasure possessions. That's the thing that I started thinking about, though. One of the biggest things that is considered a treasure in today's world is attention. Attention is something that a lot of the world is built on now. There are so many voices screaming for your attention all the time. And so people have tried to work around that to make sure that you get attention. If you'll notice, like when you're watching a TV show, action happens right at the beginning of the show because they know they've got to reach out and grab your attention right at the beginning, or else you'll leave and you'll change channels. I know we usually watch CBS News at 6:30 when we're at home and watching TV. And one of the things I noticed about that is they will start the show with headlines just saying, this is what we're going to talk about today. Boom, 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 boom. And it lists out the things they're going to talk about. And then they start talking. And they don't break for the first commercial until about 15 minutes into the show. And that's an intentional decision. Because they know if they go to commercial, you're likely to change the channel and go somewhere else. So they don't go to commercial for 15 minutes. That way they keep your attention. And by the time they finally go to a commercial break, 15 minutes into the show, by that time, you're halfway into the show and you're less likely to leave to change channels to go do something else. Same thing in social media. You know, people have to get your attention right off the bat. You know, we talk about clickbait articles where the title of the link is designed to make you click on it to read it, because what they're really looking for is the number of views. In social media and really in any media today, the big currency is the number of followers, the number of views. That's what everybody looks at because that's how they get paid. The more people the more views they have, the more clicks they have, the higher their advertising revenue can be. It's all about attention. In fact, one of the things that, when I was teaching, I kept hearing middle schoolers say they wanted to be a YouTuber. They wanted to be a YouTuber. So I started reading for people who are making their living off of social media. And mainly they're talking about how hard it is because you always have to come up with new ideas. Every day, you've got to keep that attention. You've got to keep those clicks coming, because if you take more than a couple of days off, you can kiss your audience goodbye, because they'll find somebody else and there goes your income. Attention is what this world is built on today. So applying Jesus' words here, where he's saying, don't store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Let's apply that to this thing of attention today. What are we paying attention to? What is our focus? What do we think about? Go back and think about the last hour. What kind of things have you been thinking about? Well, I know for me, the last hour, I've been thinking about what I was going to say today. And then our power went out about 5 minutes before I had to start. And so now I'm thinking about, okay, what am I going to do to get Duke Power to turn the power back on? Do I need to go hook up the generator? But think about it in terms of what you pay attention to during any given hour. What is your focus? What do you think about? I know sometimes we have to think about the things that are going on around us. If it's mealtime, you have to think about, what am I going to feed myself? There are things that require your attention on the day in and day out basis. But what kind of your attention? Think about that. I know we just left and came back. But anyway, think about today. What is your focus? What are you paying attention to? And don't spend don't spend your whole attention thinking about the things of earth, but rather make sure that you're giving attention to God.